Okay, so there are basically three things you can enter into an Excel worksheet. I've got a blank one here that we're going to start developing together, but you can enter text, you can enter numbers, and you can enter formulas and functions. Text is basically there to describe the numbers and the results of the formulas and functions. You're not going to write a novel in Excel. That's not what it's designed for. In this first video, that's what we're going to talk about, is entering text. And it's as simple as clicking on the cell you want to enter it in and then typing. Okay, so we're going to type a spreadsheet that's going to help us keep track of the number of problems that Clippy and his friends have caused to people this year. Now I'm entering this in cell A1. You can see because I have that, sorry, I'm pointing with my hand, not the mouse, selected. It does not quite fit in A1, but that's okay. I'm not going to worry about that right now. I'm just going to enter it. Now typing is one way to get text into the cell. There's another little trick. It's called the fill handle. We're going to have a whole video on that, but I'm going to kind of give you a sneak preview in that now. We want to keep track of his problems for the first half of the year. So I'm going to type in January, if I can spell it, January, there. And then I can use something called the fill handle and have it actually put the rest of the months in for me. And if you have something that has a pattern like Q1, Q2, or January, February, or Monday, Tuesday, it'll actually fill that pattern and complete that pattern. And again, we're going to have a whole video on that. So that's a sneak preview. And here we're going to do a total. So we'll do the half year total. And again, doesn't quite fit in the cell, but we'll have some strategies for how to handle that. Over here, we're going to type in the names of Clippy and his friends. We've got Clippy, Merlin, Rover, Lynx, and here we'll have a total per month. And again, that's another one that doesn't quite fit. Now, there's different things that you can do to format that text. Okay, and there's different things you can do to make it fit in the column. So let's talk a little bit about formatting first. One of the things I can do is I can change the font. So I could come up here and I could pick a fancier font. I could make it a little bigger since this is my title. I could change the color to something a little brighter, and that's all great. This works exactly the same as in Word. Sometimes I want to just keep it real simple, but I want it to stand out. So these are my column headings. Over here on the home ribbon, they have something called cell styles. Okay, there's a drop down for that. I could pick something like heading 2 or heading 3 and have kind of a predefined format. I'll go with heading 2 that has a little bit of easier to read font, the line underneath, quick, simple, and to the point. Sometimes it's better if you can change the alignment, and we can change the alignment within the cells. So default is left for text, but I could center that text. That centers it within the column, okay? Not on the worksheet, but within the column. I could right align it, either one. Numbers are default right aligned, text is default left aligned. I'm going to make those centered. Again, cell styles is quick, easy formatting. Other things I can do, maybe I want my title to be centered above the whole worksheet. I can do that by selecting the width of the worksheet, which right now is A through H, and hitting this merge and center button. Merge and center basically makes it one big cell. So all of this is now considered to be A1, and that text is centered within it. Let's see, so we had cell styles, we've got formatting, merge and center. All right, let's talk briefly about what to do if it doesn't fit. Okay, there's a couple different things I can do. One is, let's say, I can use merge and center depending on the scenario. Makes sense for the title, doesn't always make sense for the rest of the worksheet. Although if I wanted to, put like Q1, Q2 above, I could do something like that. For this one, it probably makes sense to adjust my column width. Now, how do I adjust the column width? There's a couple things I can do. One is I can drag it over to the right. What am I dragging? That line between the columns of the column. The one, like if I want to adjust the width of column A, I go to the line to the right of column A and I drag. Or I can simply double click, boom, and it automatically auto fits it. Or I can come up here to format, pick column width, and specify. Okay, so maybe I want it to be 14. okay, and it would adjust it that way. If I choose format auto fit column width, that'll do what I just said. Oops. Except it did it to the cell I was on. Let me undo that one. You need to kind of be on the itis, but double clicking, that's quick and easy. I'm going to use that for January through June to make sure everything fits there. It scrunched these down a little bit, so I think I'm going to make them wider. Notice I'm not having to do this one column at a time. I can do it for 3 at a time or 5 at a time or whatever. Now this cell, here's a little bit of a problem. And I don't want it to be that wide, so another option I have is wrapping it. And I can hit wrap text, and then it will wrap the text within the cell. And I don't love that it's 3 high, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to make it a little wider so it's 2 high. Then I'm going to come over here and I can do the same thing to auto fit, so I can double click and between the lines, and it will adjust the width of the row above you. Okay, so that's how you adjust the column widths. Okay, so we've got auto fit, we've got wrapping, we've got merge and center, all sorts of different ways that we can adjust that. Okay, and let's come over here and just make these bold. That's another little text formatting thing that we can do. All right, and now we've got some nice looking text in our worksheet that we'll be able to use to define our numbers.